You, O king, were watching, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose splendor was excellent, stood before you, and its form was awesome. This image's head was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay.
Hold on, B. We gonna get this work. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days in Los Angeles, currently teaching with the small sanctuary in Inglewood, and today through the Spirit I want to get into a lesson going into where are we in prophecy. Okay, because prophecy is very important when it's coming down to breaking down these scriptures and interpreting them the correct way through the Spirit. Okay, now we're in some very exciting times in the Spirit because we are at the end of the prophecies that are written before the kingdom of the Israelites takes rulership. Okay, under Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, meaning Yahweh Shai is about to make his glorious second return. Okay, now we say that in confidence because we are measuring the times and we are keeping watch of the things that were told beforehand, the things to look out for. Now, the reason through the Spirit I put the image of the statue of the different kingdoms throughout history, okay, was to show where we were and where we currently are. Now, Esau's esteemed scholars have already broken down the statue in which empires those were, as well as the apostles and elders. Okay, so it stands to reason, if all those empires came and passed, then where would we be at now according to that statue? And it stands to reason that the only place that we could be that makes logical sense and prophetic sense would be the feet of iron and miry clay. Okay, now through the Spirit, we're going to begin in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9, which I've brought out a couple times in my previous lessons, but this is beautiful to pinpoint the temperament that we should be in as far as measuring the times and discerning the times. Okay, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. But this is the book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 9, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. Okay? And going over these same precepts is likened on to measuring the time diligently. Why? Because these are the types of precepts that put us in the state of mind of where we are. Okay? Apostle Gabar says beautifully that repetition is the father of skill. And when it comes to Jake being stiff-necked and hard-headed, okay, you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, oftentimes we have to drum it through your head multiple times for you to get it, okay? Now, we know through the Spirit that this gospel is going to reach who it was always intended to reach, okay? But our opposition still requires us to go over the same scriptures continually, all right? And when I say our opposition, I'm speaking primarily of you wicked Israelites, okay? Now, sure, we have to give these other nations their judgment as well, but our main purpose is to wake up the hopeful elect. So when that last number is sealed, then the destruction can come. And it helps to know that pursuing the prophecy, all right? Continuing on, it says, And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the Lord is definitely beginning to visit this world which he made. Okay? In Matthew the 24th chapter, when Yahushua was telling about the future, he told you the different signs to look out for. The earthquakes in diverse places, the uproars of the people. Okay, these are things that are commonplace in today's society. You turn on any channel, any news outlet, any alternative media outlet, whether it be TikTok or YouTube, even these truthers, so-called truthers, they're coming against the government, and they're coming and they're reporting on the things that the news isn't even reporting on. Okay, these small countries overthrowing their governments. Okay, the implementation of a new monetary system. Okay, the wars and rumors of wars. Right, these are things that have been talked about on a daily basis, almost to the point now where it's commonplace, and people are becoming numb to the bad news that they're hearing because it's so constant. Okay. Verse 3, it says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." Okay. "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." The end is manifest. Okay. We are at the stage of the game, or the stage of the statue, where Yahushua is about to come and break that statue into pieces. Okay. We are at the point of the feet and miry clay. Okay, and the fact that Yahushua isn't here ruling and the Israelites haven't been set up is a clear indicator that statue is still proverbially standing, so to speak. Okay, that's a clear indicator that the true people are not in the land yet. Okay, we are yet this day in our captivity. We, the true Israelites, according to the scriptures, and pursuing to the curses that would be put upon us as a sign and a wonder. Okay, an indicator to let you know who the Lord's people are, right? Let's see. Let's get the book of Daniel, and we're going to begin in chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2, beginning at verse 31, and this is going into the dream. Okay, where Daniel interpreted the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, and after I read the assessment, I'll go down through the spirit in further detail who those empires are, okay, to give you a better understanding of where we are in the spirit. So this is Daniel chapter 2, verse 31. It says, "Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible." This is going to the statue, okay, the famous statue Nebuchadnezzar see. Said, "This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay." Okay, it says, "Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces." Okay, that image that smote this statue, this image that was carved, or this stone that was carved without hands, is the chief cornerstone. Okay, this is Yahushua. When he makes his second coming, okay, he's going to get rid of all those armies that are in the east. With one fell swoop of that fathership he's coming on, and he's going to claim their crowns, and he's going to reestablish the Israelites as the top nation on the planet, beginning with himself. Okay, first and foremost. All right. Let's see, verse 35, it says, "Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found of them." Okay, these other nations had their chance to rule. But once Yahushua makes his second return and redeems his elect, and their bodies are changed, okay, Yahushua and the 144,000, they're going to set up a righteous government, a continuing city for their nation. Okay, and these other nations are not gonna no longer have any say so. They're no longer gonna have a seat of power. Okay, there's a confederacy of nations that join together at these Bilderberg meetings, okay, at these G5 summits that they have. Psalms the 83rd chapter tells you the nations that are gathered against us, okay, that make a tumult against the nation of Israel. Okay, once Yahweh Shai returns, these other nations are going to no longer have any power and any control. They're going to go into servitude. Okay. Let's see. Continuing on in verse 35, it says, "And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth." That great mountain is symbolic for a great government, and it's going to fill the whole earth. Okay, and this earth is once again going to be put in a state of righteousness. Okay, as it was in the beginning, but even more so, because it's going to be under the rulership of a righteous people. Okay, that is a promise that is only made to the Israelites. Only the Israelites are going to be given immortal bodies, sinless bodies. We are going to be the righteous judges, the righteous rulers of the earth, Lord willing. I say we, humbly speaking. Okay. Verse 36, "This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king." It says, "Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the power of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory." So Daniel is letting Nebuchadnezzar know that, okay, you're a king of kings. Okay, you're basically that golden head. But make no mistake, this power was given to you by Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Verse 38, and it says, and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break into pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Why? Because iron and clay don't mix. Okay, just like water and oil don't mix. Okay, it's letting you know that from the time of Nebuchadnezzar till now, these different kingdoms, these nations have gotten weaker and weaker and weaker. Okay, it says, "But there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay." Now, this feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, is talking about NATO and the EU. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization and the European Union. Okay. Verse 42, it says, "And as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, because it is a conglomerate of different nations, both strong and weak." Okay, look at all the nations that are under the banner of NATO and under the banner of the EU. Some of these nations are very powerful superpowers, and some of them are very weak nations. Okay, so this fits that prophecy perfectly, especially when you consider the times that we're in and who's currently ruling the earth, which is Esau Edom. And we can say that in confidence because, pursuing the prophecy, when Yahweh Shai returns, Esau Edom is going to be in rulership, because Yahweh Shai is specifically coming to take down the Edomites. Okay, so that lets you know that Esau Edom is still here. Okay, the main fact of the matter is Yahweh Shai hasn't returned yet, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Okay, so that means when he does return, he's coming to take this particular nation down, pursuant to the scriptures. All right. Let's see. Verse 43, "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." Meaning that even though it seems that they're coming together and joining together with a common goal, okay, at the end of the day, their different policies are not mixing. They're not as unionized as it appears to be. Okay, though they're their allies on paper. Okay, behind closed doors, they're murmuring. They're disagreeing with each other. Okay, Continuing on, verse 44. And in the days of these kings, so during the time of this feet and toes of iron and miry clay, during the time of these kings, these rulers that are set up, i.e. the time that we're in now, okay? It says, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of Heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. Okay, and this kingdom is going to be set up by Yahweh Shai. That's why the prophecy of this dream is talking about that stone smiting the statue at the toes and the feet. And once that statue is hit, everything else is going to fall and crumble. But from that is going to be a nation that encompasses the entire earth, and this is going to be a nation of righteousness. Okay, a forever golden age under the Israelites. Okay, verse 45 again, it says, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. So the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Why? Because Yahweh Shai gave Daniel the proper understanding of what this means. And the prophets are coming back in their lot to give you a better understanding, okay, of exactly what he's talking about. Now, as you can see, pasted within my scriptures is an image of the world empires and the statue, right, that Daniel's seen in his dream. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this and read off the different kingdoms, just so you can get the full understanding. Okay, that head of gold under Nebuchadnezzar was the Babylonian Empire. Okay, and the wings represent the Assyrian Empire, which co-ruled with Babylon. Okay, now when you go to the silver, okay, that's the Medo-Persian Empire, right? The Medo-Persian Empire. And when you go into the prophecy, it speaks of the three ribs, which is Egypt, Lydia, or West Turkey, and Babylon, right? And that was under Cyrus II. Next, when you go to the bronze, you have the Grecian Empire, or the Greeks, right? And this is, of course, under Alexander III, or Alexander the Great, right? And during this time when he passed, okay, he passed rulership to his four generals, which are the four wings, right? Which was Cassander, who ruled over Macedonia and Greece, Lycomachus, which ruled over Thrace in Asia Minor. You have Ptolemy, which ruled over Egypt, and you have Seleucus, which ruled over Persia and Asia. Okay, and these were the four generals that ruled after Alexander the Great during the Grecian Empire. Then you have the Iron, okay, which was the Roman Empire. All right, and after the Roman Empire, you have the revived Roman Empire, which is the time what we're in now. Okay, which is the section of the feet of clay and iron mixed. This is the time that we're in now, the revised Roman Empire. And what's interesting about this time frame is there's a lot of prophecy that took place during this time. Okay, you had America formed from the 13 colonies. You had World War I. You had the European Economic Community, or the UN, which was established. You had NATO established. Okay, and then the United Nations were founded after World War II. But also during this time, you got to remember, World War III is also going to take place. And we are in the midst of those times now. So all this is going to take place during the time of clay and iron. Okay? And during this time, Yahweh Shai is going to come. Okay? As it said in Daniel chapter 2, it says in verse 44, Daniel chapter 2 and 44, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of Heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Okay? So once Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to rule forever. And the Israelites are no longer ever going to be taken down. Now, to prove this, we're going to go to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. Okay? And the headline reads, "The Lord will be victorious." But I'm going here specifically because this details what's going to happen when Yahushua comes and who he's coming after. This is Isaiah chapter 63. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah?" Now, Bozrah was the capital city of Esau Edom, which is likened unto the headquarters of Esau Edom, which would be symbolic for America. Okay, this corporation, right? It says, "This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." So this is talking about Yahushua, whose name is a Nomen Omen. He saves, he delivers. He's coming and returning to destroy his enemies and to deliver his people. Okay, verse 2. "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat?" Now this is parabolic. Yahushua isn't actually going to get his garments dirty, but this is letting you know that when he returns, he's returning for blood. Okay, and it likened unto his garments being red, like those that tread in the wine press, like you're in a barrel stomping grapes to make wine, and you get your garments red with the blood of the grape. That's what it's speaking about Yahushua looked like symbolically. Verse 3, "I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come." The redeemer, the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, beginning with that governing body, the joint heirs. Okay, the year of his redeemed. There's going to be a particular year where Yahushua is going to come back. I mean, obviously, and we're hoping, every year we hope that this is the year of the redeemed, and that we are counted amongst that holy and hallowed number. Okay? Is not this year spiritually named the year of the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble? There's a lot of implications that come with that name. It's very spiritual and very powerful. Okay? And we're hoping that this is the year that we're delivered. Okay, verse 5, "And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, in my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth." So the Lord is going to tread down Esau Edom. Okay, and it's going to take only an hour, as is detailed in other parts of the scriptures. Okay, America is going to be taken down and made a desert. Okay, and this is the prophecy that we're looking forward to the most, because this is the first day of eternity for those that are deemed to make it. Our bodies are going to be changed. Okay, and the Most High Yahweh is once again going to be able to look upon us as a nation, and that's very exciting to think about. Now we're going to end it through the Spirit in the book of 2 Peter chapter 3. And the headline above 2 Peter chapter 3 reads, "Be ready for Hamashiach's return." Okay, this is 2 Peter chapter 3, and we're going to begin at verse 11. It says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" Okay, and basically that means your conduct. How are you living? Because when Yahushua returns, he said his reward is with him. Okay, to give according to the works that you've done. So that's how we're proving our faith, by doing the works, okay, that are required of us. Teaching, prophesying, going out on the highways and hedges. Okay, our daily conduct, studying, praying, fasting. Okay, keeping our eyes single, trying to fight this flesh to the best of our ability. Because it's a daily fight, and we have to examine ourselves daily, as the scriptures say. There's nothing easy about this walk, but Yahweh Shemashai chose you to this lot for a reason, and you have to believe and have to have faith that reason is salvation. Okay. Verse 12, "Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Okay, that's talking about the nuclear missiles, the ICBMs. What other weapon has the capacity to melt the elements? Okay, it says, "Wherein the heaven shall be dissolved and the elements melt with fervent heat." That's nuclear fire. "Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless." blameless. Okay, and Lord willing, us doing this work in truth and sincerity fall under that number. Okay, but with the understanding that we are at the end of all things, and the end of all these things are manifest. Okay, what manner of persons are we to be? We're close to being delivered. This is the time that the prophets wish to see, and we are back in our lot witnessing these last prophecies take place. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. This has been your brother Manat Dazak, and until the next lesson, Shalom.